Life Blueprint with Neeta Sundarraju, who is a law of attraction expert. She's a coach and she's also an energy catalyst. If you are familiar with these terms, then kudos, and it is so good that you already know these terms, and that means that you have an idea of what this conversation might be about. But if you don't worry, don't fret. We are going to educate you, inform you, and hopefully entertain you as well, um, with this conversation. Neeta is also big on social work. She has been rewarded the Karamveer Chakra twice, and I am very excited and extremely thankful to Neeta for being here. Please put your hands together for Neeta Sundaraju. Ta-da-da-da-da. And this is the
Hi.
this is the Better Life Blueprint drum roll that I think is going to become the trademark of the show for whatever episodes we are going to have. Ding, 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 ding. Welcome, Nika. Welcome
Thank
on
you
this
so much. Anantika, this
fantastic
is,
Monday evening.
I'm looking forward to a fun hour for sure.
Yes, that I think I can guarantee to anybody and everybody who is listening. So primarily, Nita, I would like to understand from you, how did you get interested in becoming, and how did you come to be a law of attraction expert and a coach? Let's start with your own journey.
So that's a very interesting story, actually. It's nice that you're asking this, because I had read The Secret long years ago, and I'd read it, I'd enjoyed it, and then it was put aside. And then after a hiatus from work,
Mhm.
because I started a family and stuff like that. So once the children were a little grown up and I wanted to get back to work, I decided not to go back into corporate life, and I decided I should do something that I'm very passionate about,
Okay.
and that's how I got certified as a life coach. Now, after I got certified as a life coach,
Hmm.
I was coaching a few people, and one of them uh, invited me to do a talk on the law of attraction.
Okay.
Now, all that I knew about the law of attraction then was all that I read in The Secret.
The
Okay.
secret. Mm-hmm.
But obviously, because I had to do a talk, I did some research.
Hmm.
And while I was doing research, I came across so much material on the law of attraction, and I was hooked since then. From that day on, it's been my go to for everything. And I believe it can be everyone's go to for everything. So,
Yes, that is the idea of this conversation, and to uncover that how it can be a go-to source, um, for everyone, of course, and how to get going in that sense. But I am also intrigued by, and I did not know this. I've known Neeta for 2 years now, more than 2 years now, but I did not know that you had a pre-law of attraction existence in the corporate. What are you doing?
so I was into corporate communications.
Oh, high
Yes, yes. So yeah, and that was fun. It's not that it wasn't. I was enjoying what I was doing then,
five.
but after the break, getting back to it felt like, okay, no, that's not what I want to do. I want to do
Mm.
something that really excites me and what wakes me up in the morning with,
Hmm.
a passion to get going. So, and then this is what I came into, and it has been something that really gets me going.
Fantastic. I'm so happy to hear about it. And good for us, good for people like me, good for us that you did this, what you did. And to my audience, you're just going to find out, Neeta has this knack of simplifying things and concepts, unlike anybody else that at least I have seen or met. And so, and that is why I've been wanting to do this session with Neeta, so that it can help you understand this important topic, um, in the most simplest forms, for you to take away the maximum. So, Neeta, for somebody who's just walked into this conversation unaware of anything at all, what would you like to tell them about law of attraction? Why is it important to understand, know, and utilize it, use it for their own well-being, whatever, money, career, job, anything in life that they desire, the desires. What would be the simplest, most apt way to tell anybody who's just walked into this conversation, or who's just come by this video whenever it so happens?
So I think what I would first like to emphasize is that the law of attraction is a law that governs the universe. It literally governs the universe. And just like the law of gravity that governs our whole world, um, it applies itself to everything. You know, you can't say that I'm going to jump off this building today and I'm not going to fall down. Gravity applies itself to everything you do. In the same way, whether you like it or not, whether you know about it or not, whether you want it or not, the law of attraction applies itself to everything you're doing. And it always has been. Without realizing it, the law of attraction has been a part of all of our lives. Um, which means that we don't always, I know the first question after that would be that why is it that if law of attraction has been in my life forever, how come I don't have everything I want, right?
Yeah, I want a helper. I want to cook.
Yeah, because I mean, of course, if the law of attraction is working, then I should be attracting everything I want in my life. But the
Absolutely.
law of attraction is not about what you want, it's about what you focus on. You know,
Hmm.
everything that you focus on you call to yourself, because the law of attraction, the law itself is like attracts like. It's a very simple thing, like attracts like. If you want to simplify it even further,
Hmm.
birds of a feather flock together. We've heard it since childhood, right? Everything that is similar in
Hmm.
nature
Hmm.
will come together. Now nature here doesn't mean ये गुस्से वाला है और वो गुस्से वाला है तो दोनों साथ में आ जाएंगे. No,
Hmm.
that's not the name nature I mean. When I say nature here, I mean vibrational frequency. If my vibrational frequency is similar to your vibrational frequency, or the vibrational frequency of what I want is similar to where I am right now, then that will automatically come to me. If the vibrational frequency of what I don't want is the same as where I am right now, then I will be attracting things that I don't want in my life. That's a
That,
very, very important distinction to understand.
wow. So whether or not I like something, but if I keep thinking about it, if I keep my energies, and when we say energies, we don't mean a physical labor, we mean mental energies, focused on
Thoughts.
that,
Yes.
by thinking about it, by obsessing about it, by going on to that topic again and again and again, and not controlling my thoughts,
Yes.
I am attracting that. Whether I like it, want it, doesn't matter.
Yes, absolutely. You
Right.
stated it perfectly. That it I may not want something to happen,
Hmm.
but if I
Hmm.
think about it often,
Hmm.
if I feel the way I would feel if that happened to me, if I feel like, if I'm scared of
Hmm.
something, if I'm
Hmm.
scared of getting into an accident,
Hmm.
what's going to happen next? In the beginning, I'll hear more about accidents.
Yeah.
And if I still continue focusing on the fear, then I will know somebody who got into an accident.
Yeah, and
Then
we've all had something
that
similar.
happened to us. Yes, exactly, exactly. And then, you know, if I still don't move my focus away from
Hmm.
that fear, then
Hmm.
sooner or later I may get into an accident myself.
Hmm.
So the universe is always letting us know that your focus is in this direction. Do you want it to be there? How
Hmm.
does it let us know? By
How?
giving us evidence of the focus.
What does that mean? Evidence,
Just
like
what
you
I
said.
explained. Just what I explained. If I'm
Hmm.
worried about stuff,
Hmm.
I will see more and more of that in my life. First it
Hmm.
happening to somebody
Hmm.
else,
Hmm.
then
Hmm.
it
Hmm.
coming closer to me, and then even closer to me. So that's how the universe shows us. It shows us the mirror by letting us know this is what you're focusing upon. Is this really what you want?
Hmm. I'm going to pay
Yes,
more
continue to
attention to
focus
what
here.
is.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah.
Well,
So
yeah,
yeah,
yes, please continue.
yeah.
You're
So
going
it's
to say
it's up to
something.
us, if we want to continue focusing there, we're free to do so. If not,
Hmm.
if we want to shift and if we want to get something else into our lives, then we
Hmm.
need to shift our focus.
A very common argument to that, that is coming to my mind, that I've heard in from people very close to me, because I do believe in this, that the more you think about something, the chances of that pervading your life, again pervading your life, whether you like it or not, increase. um, but then people would say that they are thinking about practical things. For example, if somebody is planning a holiday, and this is a grouse that I hold very close to my heart also, that I belong to the hills, and people plan these trips to the hills during the monsoons, which is a very silly thing, stupid thing to do. um, but just to take an example, make an example out of it, somebody would say ki, in all practical sense, don't go there. But a person might just say that, because I am not thinking of accidents and I am not going to be uh, manifesting those kind of events, I'm going to be safe. Would that be a wise thing to do?
It would not be a sensible thing to do, only because I'll tell you what, you
Hmm.
may not directly be thinking about
Hmm.
accidents,
Hmm.
but how do accidents make us feel generally? Worried, scared,
Yes.
and even if you're worried or scared about something else,
Hmm.
about something completely different from accidents,
Hmm.
but accidents also worry and scare you, then because you're on the vibrational frequency of worry and fear, you're likely to attract things that
Something.
match worry and fear, and accidents do match that. so
Hmm.
so you and then you know what, there is also another thing here, that
Hmm.
if you are in a very good feeling place,
Hmm.
you will not get the urge to do something that can get you into trouble,
Right. So it's
right?
cyclical in nature in that sense.
Absolutely, absolutely. The better you feel, the
Hmm.
better you feel. The worse you feel, the worse you feel. Have you ever experienced those days where you get out of the bed and things start going wrong and then it just goes downhill from there?
Hmm.
And then you realize, oh God, I must have gotten out of the wrong side of the
I
bed.
don't say. Yeah. Yes.
Yes,
You need to
that's
blame me.
because that's because once things start going wrong, they keep going wrong. That's the law of
Hmm.
attraction at work.
That's massive.
Similar frequencies come together, right? So yeah.
This also, something that I've heard from, I think, one of the biggest proponents of law of attraction manifestation, vibrational frequency, Dr. Joe Dispenza,
Hmm.
is about feelings. Um, feeling the feeling that you want to feel, or you want to
Yes.
feel, most of the time in your life. Of course, we cannot avoid feeling the full spectrum, but feeling the feeling that you want most in the life. I don't remember his words, but I remember the idea that the more you feel in a certain way, so your feelings are the gateway to law of attraction. Can we say that, understand that the
So
more I feel a certain way, I attract
more
certain
of things
sense
that make me feel
events.
the certain way. Yes.
Yes.
Yes. So it
Hmm.
just means that we actually understand vibration
Hmm.
through feelings. We translate vibration into feelings because we don't really have a way to measure vibrations, anyways, right?
Hmm.
So, what we do is we understand vibration
Hmm.
through feelings. So, a good feeling is a high vibration, a
Hmm.
not so good feeling is a lower vibration. A
Fun.
very, yeah, so like fear is like a very low vibration, and joy is like a very high vibration.
Hmm.
So, it, depending on what I'm feeling, I'm going to
Hmm.
attract more things that, or I'm
Hmm.
going to experience more things that make me feel the same way, right? So, if I'm feeling anger today,
Hmm.
I'm going to come across more people who are angry. I'm going to come across more situations that make me angry,
Me angry.
you
Hmm.
know. So anger is going to be around if I'm starting my day with anger.
Hmm.
Um, In the same way, if I start my day with passion or joy or happiness, then I'm going to experience more things that make me happy. I'm going to
Hmm.
meet people that make me happy.
Hmm.
And I'm just generally going to be happy, you
Hmm.
know.
Hmm.
So, the reason why everyone says think positive, because, when you think happy thoughts, then
Hmm.
you feel happy and then you attract more things, you
More.
experience more things that make you happy. But
Hmm.
it's not about thinking positive, really. Um because honestly, you can't think positive when you're not feeling good.
Yes,
But
that's very true.
our job really is to find a way to feel better than what we're feeling right now, no matter what you're feeling right now. You know, find
So
a way to feel a little better.
a little better, little better.
Yes,
I
yes.
hear you, but then there are times when, of course, you're in a good place, you're feeling okay, you're feeling happy, you're feeling decently calm enough to carry out throughout the day. Things are going to fall in place for you. But I really want to understand that once that cyclical event of bad or negative thoughts starts, like you mentioned that you sometimes you get out of the bed and just one after the other, things
Yes.
begin to go spiral down. And suppose now, after listening to this conversation, somebody has become wise enough to understand that this is happening with me. How do they then break that cycle? What is it that they need to do then to shift their frequency, shift their vibration, go to a better place? Say some nothing is working out. I'm stressed about my work. My children are not listening to me. Um, Money is gone from my bank account, and everything that can go wrong is going wrong. So, मैं कहाँ से where do I get uh, the spark um, to get me back on track to attract better things? How do I
So,
break out of this? कि
so
मेरे से
first of all, when things are going wrong, the first thing that happens is we tend to get anxious.
hmm,
Oh God, how will I handle this? Right? That is the first thing that comes up. Um, a good thing to do at that time is to stop going in that direction with your thoughts, because everything begins with a thought. You
hmm,
can't do something without you having thought about it first.
hmm,
So, when your thoughts are going in a negative spiral,
hmm.
spiraling downwards, the first thing you need to do is stop that negative downward spiral, right? So,
But
how
how?
do you stop a negative spiral? By stopping the thought that's spiraling downwards. And how do you stop the thought?
Hmm,
One, you could completely distract yourself, do something completely different that
hmm,
has nothing to do with it.
hmm,
Remind yourself that there are many, many things you can do. One is completely distract yourself, okay? Do something that has nothing to do with the thought that's going on in your mind right now.
hmm,
Talk to somebody, listen to music. It can be anything.
hmm,
A second thing that you have to do also is remember
hmm,
that in the moment, right away, there is nothing that needs to be done or can be done that is going to change the situation. It is what it is right now. So, the moment you can accept that it is what it is,
hmm,
and I don't have to do anything right now in this moment to change anything, because doing something right now is not going to change anything.
hmm,
It is what it is. The moment you come to a place where I know, okay, I know it is what it is, there's nothing that's going to change, I'll figure it out.
hmm,
When you tell yourself that, immediately you calm down. If none of that works,
hmm, hmm,
if none of that works, you still have to stop the thoughts spiraling downwards.
hmm.
What do you think can help you to stop a thought spiraling in any way, downwards or upwards? Go to sleep. When you sleep, are you thinking? No, you're not. So go to
Yes,
sleep. Take a
yes,
nap. Take a short nap, because when you take a nap, when you sleep, you're not thinking at all, and
hmm,
you've stopped your thoughts spiraling, into chaos. So when you do that, and then when you wake up, even if it's a 10-minute nap, 15-minute nap, that doesn't matter.
hmm,
Take a power nap at that time. When you wake up, you will have a sense of being reset, being refreshed. And then you can start from there, start from square one for sure, but start from there, without the negative spiral taking over.
hmm,
Every day when we wake up in the morning, we
hmm.
have a chance to start afresh, because we are
Yes,
starting from zero.
zero.
We haven't really gone into the downward spiral, so we can start with an upward spiral.
Hmm.
we can also do that, right? We have, if we have the option of downward spiral, we have the option of upward spiral also.
Hmm.
So we can always start a day after, after a good night's sleep or even after a short nap. We
Hmm.
have the chance to restart. So we can start in an in a slightly upwards. You need not jump from wherever you are to straight away, feeling ecstatic, because that's not possible. But you can take one small baby step forward, feel slightly better than wherever you are, and then take one more baby step forward, and then feel
Hmm.
even better, slightly better, slightly better, slightly better. And
Hmm.
those baby
And
steps
the
ultimately
cycle.
take you to
Yeah.
wherever you want to be.
Hmm.
So those baby steps are really important, very, very important.
Hmm. So, so what would be the what uh, what should be my intention with this, with if I want to, and I am already saying sorry to all the chat GPT fans, if I want to leverage the use of certain words these days is scary, and leverage is my favorite. So if I want to leverage the law of attraction in my professional life, a lot of my audience on LinkedIn is young people who are starting out in their careers, and there is goal setting, and there is this need to climb the corporate ladder, or to get more clients and everything. Is there something like a blueprint for which everybody can follow, to leverage this law of attraction, to leverage the fact that universe is going to provide for you, and universe, or the source, or the gods, or whatever form of energy you believe in, has got your back?
So, I thought the word leverage actually is very appropriate here. So it's a good thing you used it.
Yeah.
And yes, we can definitely leverage the law of attraction.
Hmm.
It's like, when the signal is going to turn green
Hmm.
for people going left,
Hmm.
you know,
Hmm.
and you point in that direction,
Hmm.
then the traffic is following your finger,
Hmm.
right?
Right.
So, yeah, so you're in charge. Absolutely, right? If you understand how it works and then you go with it,
Hmm.
then you're in charge. You're absolutely in charge of your life. So, I like the fact that you use the word ladder, climbing the corporate ladder, also that phrase, very
Hmm.
important, because you don't just want to climb the corporate ladder,
Hmm.
you want to climb the emotional ladder.
Hmm.
When you climb the emotional ladder,
Hmm.
every other ladder becomes
Easy to conquer.
completely conquered. Yes, if you can conquer this one, you've conquered
Yeah.
it all.
Yeah.
Yeah, because if you can manage to feel good
Hmm.
no matter what's happening right now,
Hmm.
because it's not what happens that really determines what's coming to you, it's how you react to it that determines what's coming to you.
Nah,
So,
that's a big one. It's how you react to what is coming to you. Okay.
yes, if when you react in a certain way to whatever's happening,
Hmm.
if something's going wrong, things do go wrong in our lives, it happens to everyone, right?
Hmm.
And things are not going our way, and then we feel discouraged, we feel disappointed and anxious. What are we doing now that we are at that vibrational frequency? We are
Hmm.
inviting more such experiences into our life.
Hmm.
But if we decide that, um, okay, that didn't work out exactly the way I wanted,
Hmm.
but that's okay. I'm sure, I can figure out the next step even from here.
Hmm.
Wherever I am, no matter what it is,
Hmm.
I can figure out the next step even from here. Then you're in a place of feeling empowered and in charge, because you can figure out your way from wherever you are.
Hmm. Hmm.
And when you're there, then everything around you will help you to experience more of that. So if you want to feel empowered, you want to feel in charge,
Hmm.
then you've got to react to things that way.
So when you say you've got to react to things that way, um, I'm not sure if I'm posing this question in the correct way. But like I said, for example, when things are going wrong for me in terms of my everyday life, I can not help but feel those thoughts,
Yes.
anxiety and fear and scared. So then, what do I talk to myself and tell myself? It's like self-soothing. It's the self-talk that has to be that charged up to get me out of that into this mode where I can tell myself, no, okay, okay, relax. I can think of what is to be done next, and that is how the game changes. Is that
Absolutely,
correct?
absolutely. Self-soothing was perfect.
Hmm.
Anantika, I'm loving the phrases you're using. So,
Thank you.
so self-soothing is perfect because if you can soothe yourself through anything, you know,
Hmm.
and massage yourself into a higher vibration, then you're sorted. Because,
And
okay,
I
I'm
like
going to
it.
give you an analogy.
Okay.
Yeah. Um, Supposing you're on a journey, you're
Mm-hmm.
walking to some place.
Hmm.
Now, you've reached a point where there's a field, huge, huge, tall grass growing in that field,
Okay.
and you can't see the path because of that. You just can't see the path, and you don't know what's beyond it. Now, obviously, you can't see the path, so you don't know what you're doing.
Hmm.
What do?
Keep walking
You
forward.
look around. You look around. Supposing you look around, and then you see a tree there close by,
Hmm.
and
Hmm.
there's a ladder that takes you up the tree.
Hmm.
So you go up, climb the ladder, and now suddenly you're at a higher altitude. And from that higher altitude, you can see the path.
Hmm.
Okay?
Yeah.
And you can see exactly where you're headed. You know what's beyond the field because you can see that from there too. Uh, so it kind of, resolves everything for you. So now I'm going to tell you what that means. When you climb up that ladder of emotions,
Hmm.
you get on a higher vibration, and suddenly the path, the destination, everything becomes clear. From there, you can see things clearly.
Hmm.
When you're down below, clarity is not available.
I, this is like my aha moment for the day. And I've had this conversation with you a couple of times, and one far more recently than ever before. But this analogy, you're the queen of analogies, and this is so perfect. I could like picture this in my head, that there is this tall tree and there is a ladder that takes you up, and from there you can get the lay of the land and you can see clearer, and you got a perspective now whether you want to pursue that path or not, or change
Absolutely.
the path or whatever you want to do.
Correct, correct.
That's really, really cool. So at the bottom of it all is that you are the creator. We've heard it so much and from so many different people and places that you are the creator. I am the creator of that one. But you are the creator of your own reality,
Yes.
and we live in our heads, but it translates into our reality. So that is very, very interesting, that fact that you can always choose to raise yourself little by little with different activities, no matter what their stature is. Going to nap, for example, would fall at a zero, and then it takes up from there. But whatever activity that you might choose to do, uh, to help you level up, change your momentum of thoughts, it will take you to a better place.
Yes. And, we all have something or the other that we know will always put us in a very good mood. For me, it's reading, sometimes it's music, sometimes certain songs will always put me in a good mood. So those are actually good to have, handy. Uh, all of us can have at least two, three different things that are handy, and we know will always shift our mood. So it's always good to have those.
A
And
mental toolkit sort of thing.
yes, your own personal toolkit that will put you at a higher vibration.
Fabulous.
Absolutely.
क्या होना चाहिए उसमें? What are the essentials, and easily accessible to everybody, for which you know, because everything is inside of you. So what is it, if I'm starting out to do this, what is it in me that I should build up to have that toolkit readily available?
So I would say toolkit to shift my mood
Hmm.
definitely is for me. I mean, for me, it's definitely music. I'll tell you that. My Spotify playlist is ready. There's one playlist I have that's called Fun. And
Okay.
no matter what mood I'm in,
Hmm.
that'll shift my mood. No matter how sick I'm feeling, how sad I'm feeling, how angry I'm feeling, if
Hmm.
I listen to those songs, I'm like out of it like this. So that's one thing that works for me always.
Okay.
Then there is, for me, there is also books. I love reading.
Hmm.
So once I'm once I open a book and I'm lost in the story, then I'm like, I've
Transported.
completely shifted myself. Yeah, I've completely transported myself.
Hmm.
So again, the momentum of those thoughts completely stops.
Hmm.
But otherwise, apart from these things that we can do, there's always a way to start our day well. So I would suggest we need to start our day well. you
Hmm.
know uh,
Well begun is half done.
exactly. So if we start our day with a smile, which I think is very important, because every time you smile for a
Hmm.
certain amount of time, not just chhod diya. So if you smile for a certain amount of time, it sends messages to your brain, and your
Hmm.
brain releases chemicals
Chemical.
that make you more happy. So the
Hmm.
brain doesn't know that you're smiling without a reason, or that there is a reason to smile or
Hmm.
anything. But the
Hmm.
smile sends out a message to the brain,
Hmm.
and then you know, you've started well. Another thing to do is meditate first thing in the morning, because I think when you meditate, also again, you're stopping thoughts. And
Hmm.
so if you're stopping thoughts, you're stopping negative thoughts. And so
Hmm.
you're starting your day with a higher vibration. So these are things that I think if everyone does every day,
Hmm.
it's extremely, extremely helpful. Um, Also,
And
I
this,
think,
sorry. Hmm.
decide how you want to feel today. Because,
Decide early in the morning is
yes,
that good.
like if I wake up in the morning and decide today I want to feel eager or
Hmm.
enthusiastic, or
Hmm.
I want to feel passionate, or I want to feel frisky, fun,
Hmm.
then, you know, the day will follow accordingly, because the universe is listening. It's going to send you more stuff that,
Makes you feel that way.
yes, absolutely.
Wow. If it is that easy, I wonder why don't we already do it? If it is so encoded within us, why don't we already do it? And
Because because no one taught us. I mean, how many of us can honestly say that we've been taught to raise our vibes throughout our childhood?
hmm,
In fact, no. We've been taught to be careful because the world can
slow
hurt
them down.
us.
Yeah.
We've been taught to not be emotional
Hmm.
because then you're vulnerable.
Hmm.
We've been taught to keep ourselves safe
Hmm.
because the world out there isn't. There are harsh realities that we have to face.
Hmm.
And so, what is our worldview really? That
Hmm.
out there is not safe, you know? So
Hmm.
then obviously we're going to attract things that match that, correct? So, yeah, so we've never really, no one really, we didn't have role models that taught us. Neither did our parents, neither did their parents.
Right.
It's not,
Right.
yeah, it's not their fault, but we haven't been taught. But we
Hmm.
can learn now.
We can learn
And
now.
yeah,
Absolutely.
and we can pass that on to our next generations, you
Absolutely.
know.
I think that's it's more of a responsibility than anything else. Uh,
Mm,
like keeping the environment or our earth green. I think this is also equally valuable, that you teach people how to feel good about themselves so that they don't make others feel miserable about themselves.
absolutely. I think if we all just take responsibility of ourselves
Yeah, yeah.
and we set that example, be
Hmm.
responsible for your own self. You don't have to take responsibility for anyone else. Be responsible for your own self. If everyone's responsible for their own selves, do we really need anyone to look after somebody else?
Hmm.
you know so if we take not we it's not that we are not going to help each other.
Hmm.
That's not what I mean.
Hmm.
What I mean is, if I consider myself responsible for my own happiness, I
Hmm.
don't hold other people accountable for it.
Hmm.
You did this, so I'm unhappy. How many of we all do that, right? But instead of that, if I say no, I'm happy because I choose to be happy, no matter what you do.
Hmm.
The day we can do that for ourselves, and if we do that, we are going to become role models for our children who will also learn to do that. But that need not be our aim. Our aim is just to keep ourselves happy right now, because we can manage to be happy for ourselves,
Hmm.
because being happy makes us happy, right? Ultimately, that's what we all want. We want to be happy in our life. Our careers are so that we can be happy.
Relationships,
Our
money,
own,
balance.
absolutely, are so that we can be happy. Our whatever we want in our lives, our homes, our cars, or whatever we choose
Hmm.
to
Hmm.
get into our lives is all there so that we can be happy.
Hmm.
So ultimately, what we really want is to be happy. So let's take responsibility for our own happiness, just because it makes us happy to be happy,
Hmm.
and start from there. I think if all of us can learn to do that, I think we are all sorted.
That's a very good starting point to wake up in the morning and just think, okay, today I'm just going to be happy. I'm
Yes,
just going to be happy. And I just want to feel happy. And then watch for the magic to begin as universe aligns and sends you events, people, songs that make you happy, books
absolutely.
for, for people like me. Uh, I also want to understand from you, Neeta, that how does or does universe, if at all it does, discriminate in any which way that इस आदमी के साथ ज्यादा हो गया इसको ज्यादा खुशी मिल गई इसको ज्यादा sadness मिल गई.
नहीं.
Does that happen? No.
So
We have nobody to blame, huh? On the lighter, on the lighter note that
we
okay.
our shoulders, it's all on our shoulders. um, the universe does not discriminate. The universe will consistently, constantly, and always give you what you're focused upon. Doesn't matter who you are.
Hmm.
It never matters who you are. You're constantly, constantly, constantly being shown
Hmm.
the mirror by the universe, saying this is where your focus is. Is
I
that
really
where you
like
want
this
it to
concept.
be? Huh. So everyone is in the same place.
Hmm.
Everyone's equal in this way, you know.
Hmm. Hmm. Hmm.
Um, Nobody is like, acha, universe says, okay, this fellow is my favorite and I'm giving him more money. That one I don't like, so I'm going to take away his relationships or something like that. No, there is no such thing. Um, Whatever you focus upon,
So
you
the
will
concept that
get.
we are like children to the higher power, I think, because as a parent you can't discriminate, although you might have a favorite, but you can't discriminate amongst your own children. Uh, so the universe provides. Tell me something about if as a coach, as a life coach, or as a law of attraction expert, somebody comes to you for guidance and coaching, and you also are an energy catalyst, how does that work out? How do you
So,
help people as a coach? How do you coach them to change,
so I
catalyze their energies?
yeah.
Yes.
So first, I'd like to correct you. I'm an energy alignment catalyst.
Alignment, my bad.
Alignment. So I help people to align their energies in such a way that they um, are then focused in the direction of what they want rather than focused on what they don't want.
Hmm.
Okay. So the more you focus on what you want, the more you're inviting that into your life. And the more you focus on what you don't want, you're inviting that into your life.
That's
So I'm helping you reassign your focus.
hmm.
I'm helping you align your energies such that you can focus better, clarify your focus first, and then focus better on what you want.
Hmm.
So, yeah, so that's what I do as a coach.
Energy alignment, that becomes even more it gets more shaped in that sense and falls in
Yes.
place with law of attraction. You help them align with their own desires, their own needs, and it can really be confusing because like कटरीना कैफ sang पैसा गाड़ी महंगा घर चाहिए तो सब कुछ but priority, huh?
Absolutely. Yes.
Okay. Just 1 second. I'm so sorry. Just 1 second, Nita.
So I hope you all are enjoying the conversation on the law of attraction. Please put in your questions in the comments below and we can answer any questions that you want.
Thank you for taking that bit and charge of the situation while my created person chose to butt in. Anyway,
Not a problem at all.
right. As we are coming to the close of this conversation, Nita, I would want you to give three, or if you want more, five, seven. The number really doesn't matter, but some takeaways that somebody who gets out of this conversation can begin practicing to amp up their life, to begin that transformational journey. And I must give a disclaimer here about everything that we have discussed, that when you wake up tomorrow and you decide that today I'm going to feel happy and I'm going to feel successful, it might happen, it might not happen. It is also a matter of practice.
Absolutely.
Right, Nita?
Yes.
Uh,
Absolutely.
what would you say on that? And then, of course, the first question that I asked, because I want this to be clearly put out, that it's like muscle building. It does not, that it's not, it's magical in that sense, but it's not magical in terms ki bas either socha or udhar ho gaya. Maybe if you are at that strong vibration in which you've been building up without knowing, maybe it might just happen that either socha or udhar ho
नहीं,
gaya.
but thank God, honestly, thank God कि ऐसा नहीं है. Because
Hmm.
suddenly today, if I'm thinking about a lion and a lion pops into my living room, I'm not happy about that. Please no. थोड़ा टाइम दे दो.
That's
So
also a very important part, तो वो
yes,
बोलते हैं
absolutely.
कि wish for it carefully lest it comes true. There's a
No,
sense in
no, no,
words.
no, no. So everything that you wish for is yours. There's no problem with that.
Hmm,
It's just that sometimes when you wish for something and it
hmm,
comes,
hmm,
it helps you to also realize that this is not exactly what I wanted. I wanted something more or something less or something different. I wanted this aspect to be a little different
hmm,
in what. So which is fine. Which is fine because again, it's all about your thoughts. It's all about your focus. So you get from X to Y and then you realize, okay, Y is not enough. I need a little different than Y. And so then you'll move to Z. What's the big deal?
hmm,
Nothing wrong with that. Nothing wrong. Um, the thing to remember is
hmm,
sometimes slightly different than what you want, things do happen,
hmm,
but it means that you're getting closer to what you want because some parts of those things that happened were what you wanted, which means now you've gotten closer to what you wanted than you were before.
So it's a test and improvise, test and improvise. Every time you get closer
Absolutely.
and closer and closer, and that also gives you chance, like you said, कि वो to check with yourself whether this is the
This is
direction that I want to go in, or do I need
absolutely
to iterate? Do I need to change?
exactly
That's also
exactly.
very important.
So
Hmm.
there are times when people get disheartened because things didn't work out exactly like
Hmm.
10 things, 10 aspects may say only 9 or 8 were
Hmm.
the same, but 2 were different. But 8 did come true. Instead of saying 8 came true, we think about, Array, but these two were not matching.
Hmm.
So, again, how you react makes all the difference. If you're
Hmm.
happy with those 8 and you're thrilled with those 8, then more things that thrill you, which means those other two might also change. But if you're focused on those two that didn't work out and then you're disappointed, then those 8 might turn into disappointments too.
Hmm.
So important, very important to focus on the wanted aspects of everything because everything has aspects that are wanted and some aspects that are unwanted.
Unwanted. True.
Even a coin has head and tail. It doesn't have just one thing, right?
Yes.
Yeah, sometimes you're interested in the heads and you see the heads and you're fine. But
Hmm.
sometimes you're interested in the heads and the tails are facing up, and then you feel, oh, but you can flip it. You can always flip it.
Hmm.
You can flip your
Hmm.
thoughts also, just like that.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
But
everything has
hmm.
aspects of wanted and unwanted. What are we focusing on? That is very important to realize and keep
Hmm.
being aware of.
This also reminds me of this. I did a LinkedIn post on this once. My daughter used to learn dance. She started with Bharatnatyam and then ended up in Kathak classes. But Bharatnatyam से I remember there's this संस्कृत श्लोका which says कि जहाँ आपके हाथ जाते हैं वहाँ आपकी नजर जाती है, जहाँ आपकी नजर जाती है वहाँ आपका ध्यान जाता है. So that focus
Yes, it's
travels,
everything.
and it
Focus
is.
is everything. Yes, it's magic. Focus is where the magic happens.
Hmm. I've
So
been.
we'll come back to
Sorry,
the
sorry.
you
Please.
wanted some no you wanted
I don't think I will have my fill of this conversation. I need to get it. I shut up.
Yeah, I never have my fill of any conversation about the law of attraction. I can go on and on and on. But you did ask,
Hmm.
what it is that people can do so that
Yes.
they can leverage the law of attraction. So, important things. One, like I said earlier, smile, meditate. These two things are very important. Another thing we can do is decide, like I said, decide in the morning how you want to
Hmm.
feel.
Hmm.
uh, don't worry if by the time you eat breakfast वहां से हट गए हो, that's okay. 10-15 minutes, if you have been able to hold your focus even for 10 to 15 minutes,
Hmm.
you will have a fantastic day anyways.
Hmm.
Okay, so 10-15 minutes of focus is awesome. It's awesome. So
And
yeah,
it also I think matters that even आपका focus हट भी गया है, you have the capacity and the control to bring it back. जब भी थोड़ी
exactly.
देर में ही सही, but
Yes,
you can
yes,
always
absolutely.
come back to it.
You can always come back, but at the same time understand that it's all right.
Huh.
Focus will shift. It's okay. There is nothing wrong with it.
Yeah.
So that's three things that we've already done. Now, another thing we can do is remind yourself about
Hmm.
all the times the things have worked out for you, even when they felt like they didn't work out.
Hmm.
When something happened and you felt, oh, everything's going wrong,
Hmm.
and then it turned out, oh no, but okay, it was
This,
okay. It
this,
was
this,
good that that happened, because then, has
this
that
happened.
happened with you ever?
Yes, it has.
Yes,
It
yes.
has.
So
It has.
every unwanted situation is a gift
Hmm.
in dirty wrapping paper. You can either look at that dirty wrapping paper
Hmm.
and then not even look at the gift because, oh,
Gift.
gee, who wants to touch that dirty wrapping paper?
Hmm.
Or we can get past that dirty wrapping paper and reach the gift, because
Hmm.
there's always a gift. There is no such situation which doesn't come with a gift. There is a quote by
Hmm.
Richard Bach. If
Hmm.
anyone's read Illusions, the book by Richard Bach, there's a quote by Richard Bach in that which
Hmm.
says, there's
Hmm.
no such thing as a problem without a gift for you in its hands. And that's absolutely true. Always, always. A problem will always help you clarify
Hmm.
what really it is that you want.
I
So,
do agree with it because at times I think uh, even finding out that this is what I don't want is a blessing.
yes, because it's only when you know what you don't want that you kind of
Then,
realize what you do want.
yeah,
Yeah. So,
it's
all
true.
unwanted situations are also a gift. And let's take them that way. That's how
Hmm.
you react
Hmm.
positively
Hmm.
and in a good feeling way to everything that comes along.
Hmm.
And in that way, then experience more and more of what is wanted.
Hmm. 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 I would quickly want to summarize it for my better understanding and my audiences. The things are under your control. You
Yes,
are in charge. You've been given feelings to ensure that you can raise them when you are not feeling like feeling good feelings,
yes,
and you have the controls and means. You need to build up your means, but you do have the control. You might not be aware of it, but you do have the control. And if there is one takeaway from today's conversation for anyone and everyone, then it is that you are in control. It is okay to feel whatever you might be feeling, but as soon as you become aware that you this does not match with what you would want in your life, you have the control, you have the means to change it, level up bit by bit, slowly and steadily, and you will get there. That is
Absolutely.
how the universe helps you get things. You think, you focus, you begin to feel it, and you land with it.
Absolutely. Well
Any
summarized, I have to say. It's
thank
all about
you
being in charge. Yes.
for being in charge. I think that is a big takeaway for me also. I for years in between, I have very easily given into the feeling that nothing is under my control, and I have no power to change anything. But gradually and very slowly, and with kind people and friends like you, um, which now I believe I have attracted, because somewhere I've always had this curiosity, this need to know more about universe, and as it is, conversations around this topic. The change has happened for me, so I am a living testament for this, that it does happen. It does not matter what timeline it follows. It does not matter the magnitude to which it might or might not happen, but it happens, that for sure. That is for sure.
Absolutely. So, first of all, I'd like to say kudos to you
Hmm.
because you did the work, and you're a living testament because you did the work. So, I can only say I'm really, really proud of
Yay.
how you've been. And I
Thank
think
you.
this talk show is also evidence of that. So,
It is
it
I
is
think.
it is my privilege to be on this talk show today.
How lovely of you to say that, Neeta. I'm more than I can express. I'm grateful to you. I am happy and I'm privileged to know you. And thank you so much for taking out time to do this with me. I can't thank you enough, but still, one more thank you. And thank you for sharing your wealth of knowledge, your insights, your personal experiences. And my only aim of doing this chat show with the people that I choose to do it with is that I know these people bring a lot of insights, a lot of valuable experience from the lived part of their own lives. There is knowledge, of course, but then they've lived what they're teaching. And I really hope that whoever listens to it is really, really, really able to use this knowledge to transform their lives. And that is why the Better Life Blueprint. Thank you, Neeta.
Thank you. Thank you, Anandika.
Thank you to everyone who has been listening, and thank you for being part of the Better Life Blueprint. Next week, I will see you with one another amazing coach who will share secrets of transforming your life from inside out. And I hope that you will find that conversation equally valuable. If you would want any kind of questions, any help from Neeta, please do leave a comment on this post, and I am sure Neeta will be generous enough to find time to answer your queries. Thank you once again, and have a good night. I would like to see more of you soon. Thank you. Bye bye.